So typically my experience comes from third-party logistics integration, so IDocs and interfaces coming back from a third-party logistics provider. So good examples there would be stock discrepancies where stock has been changed in that third-party logistics system but hasn't been reflected in the SAP system. So that could be receipts, pick confirmations. And then from that point on, you're getting things like problems with invoicing, orders missing, unexpected deliveries turning up at at your site and at your customers' sites, which is obviously a problem. Delays in dispatching stock to customers, and this does lead to unhappy customers potentially. So in my experience in the past, certain customers would go to the level of potentially even fining. So SAP does provide standard tools for the identification and resolution of IDocs, but this is generally something that you would put as an IT level task rather than with your super users. So IT would fix the problem for you, but they wouldn't potentially identify that root cause that causes the problem. So eventually that will lead to them potentially having to fix the same problem again and again and again. If you put in this at the super user level, the super user can very quickly identify that this is a recurring issue and then start the wheels in motion to get that resolved. So the IDoc Management Console it's effectively a one-page console to show you the health of your interface business. So you get one screen in front of you that shows you all current success, current failure across all the interfaces that you have defined in that console. So typically we would define the console to be used with third-party logistics integration, potentially also sales and distribution, finance and automation integration. Each different area of the business, we would actually configure a different version of the IDoc console, and each different console would then show the relevant IDoc interfaces that area of the business is more interested in. Yeah, so we do have some alerting capability with the app whereby we can define a level at which point a particular interface may send a trigger email, or if your system allows it, an SMS message. So we do have multiple analytic options available within the app. Typically from the start we have the SAP GUI front end, the IDoc Management Console there, where we have successful, failed, first run and second run. But we also have an additional layer of Fiori reporting, which can show an analytical graphical view, perhaps on an office wall or in the warehouse wall. So while the IDoc Management Console allows the user to reprocess, add comments, set to status 68, we can also go a step further and we can define hotspots, which will quickly jump the user from the IDoc directly into any deliveries potentially, or material master records. So under the standard SAP tools, every time an IDoc is changed, there is a log made. Additionally, our tool sits on top of that and adds additional information with regards to comments. So for example, if I am resolving an IDoc at a particular time, I can leave a comment against it, and that is also stored in the audit log for that particular IDoc. And one other thing that's really useful is that we can also quickly do a display data and status on the IDoc, which will pull information from the IDoc itself, but also go a step further and start to pull related information from things like purchase orders and ASNs and show them all on one nice grid. Yeah, some great benefits that you can see from this tool immediately is the removed reliance on IT. In my case, for example, I was, in my previous role, a very new user to the SAP system, and within a short frame of time, I was actually in the system fixing IDocs for myself. So one of the real benefits of this is the reprocessing time that it takes to actually fix an IDoc. So for example, with the use of those hotspots and display data functionality, you can very quickly get to the root cause of the issue and get it fixed. And another real benefit is once that first issue has been resolved, if there are any subsequent issues that are reliant on that issue's resolution, they can then be selected in the tool, tap reprocess, and it will just run through and fix them all for you.